Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bella, and here we love to talk about anything and everything self-care, whether that's makeup, skincare, or whatever else we want to talk about, because you are worth every second of effort that you put into yourself. Now, if this sounds like your thing, please consider subscribing. It's a work in progress, but hey, it's fun here. We've been feeling pretty defeated, I guess is the word to use, because today is the 501st day of the longest lockdown in the world, and that title goes to none other than the Philippines.
Philippines #1, okay?
And like I mentioned, we're all feeling pretty defeated about it just because it feels like it's a never-ending thing. So to match the defeated vibe, I'm going for a raw, no makeup, breakouts and all kind of look for today. Because it ties in with what I want to talk about in this video, which is why I started a YouTube channel out of the blue during a global crisis. So let's talk about that. There are a few reasons, so grab a snack, grab a drink, and strap yourselves in for some story time. Now, to make things a little bit more interesting, I decided to do my nighttime skincare routine while chatting with you guys, because why not? So first, we're gonna start off with a cleanser, because any good, solid nighttime skincare routine starts with a cleanser, since you have to wash off all of the SPF, makeup, and whatever dirt or grime gathered on your face throughout the day. And the one I'm currently using is the Sipo Mild Child Hydrating Gel Cleanser. Full disclosure, this is my brand, this is my baby. So if you want to support us, the link is down below in the description. I appreciate you. And even if you don't, no pressure at all, I still appreciate you. Now, we developed this cleanser to be very mild and hydrating and suitable for sensitive skin, because last year I feel like everybody was into all of those exfoliating acids because of the Maskne breakout, I guess is an appropriate word to use. No pun intended, but since we were all wearing masks regularly for the first time, and we just wanted to make sure that the cleanser we released would be as gentle as possible to minimize any potential irritation. And as you can see, it doesn't foam because I prefer my cleansers to be like that. So it's really, really gentle and hydrating. Speaking of the pandemic, it was a real shock for sure. I mean, who wouldn't be shocked when their entire way of life was overturned in a matter of days? And for a lot of us, we didn't know how to process it in the beginning, because we thought, oh, this kind of thing's gonna blow over in 3 months, 6 months, and then we'll all be able to go back to normal. Wait, hold that thought. I'm just gonna go wash this off. My bathroom is over there.
15 minutes later.
Okay, I'm back. And if you can't see it, my face is still a little bit damp, because I want to keep that extra hydration on my face before I move on to the next step of my skincare routine, which is toning. And today, I'm using the AC Well Licorice pH Balancing Cleansing Toner. Now, this toner does have fragrance, so if you're sensitive to that, I would recommend going for a fragrance-free option. But fragrance doesn't really bother my skin, and as long as the scent fades away, it's fine with me. The reason I like this toner is that it's really light and it absorbs pretty quickly, and it does have some brightening effects because of its main ingredient, which is licorice. So if you have hyperpigmentation, it could help lessen those spots. Anyway, so our lives were overturned when the pandemic hit, and we were at first optimistic about it. I was optimistic, right? Like everyone else. But as the crisis dragged on and things kept getting more and more scary and more serious, I realized that this is not going to end in a matter of months. It may take years even. So I kind of lost hope at that point, because I like to have certain variables under my control, and this is the most out of control, I guess, that my life had ever been. I didn't know how to plan. I didn't know what to think. I didn't even know what to do next week or tomorrow. that was really challenging for me. And I was stuck in a funk for a while because I was basically unsure of what to do next. But what really helped me was setting routines for myself. And skincare is a really, really big part of that, aside from working out. And I love skincare because it shows you that, well, it showed me that even if we're all stuck at home, we didn't have to give up on self-improvement. And everybody copes differently, but the way that I chose to cope was to focus on myself and what I could do in the moment. And skincare was that one thing for me because it's just really nice to do. And when you do your morning routine, it feels like things are okay again, even just for a few minutes. And if you take the time to retake your energy, retake your power in the morning with your skincare routine, it sort of feels like you can deal with whatever the day is going to throw at you, at least in my opinion. So apart from that, I also turned to art, like webtoons, movies, TV shows, like a lot of us did during the pandemic. And so we owe our artists a lot for getting us through this crisis. The next step in my routine is another toner, and it's my favorite one right now. It's the Hiiiiiii Hyaluronic Acid Toner. Now I talk about this a lot as part of my morning routine, but I'm using it tonight, even though hyaluronic acid's immediate plumping effects are best for the morning, just because you want to see the instant plumping effect when you're going to be around other people, like, or when you're going to go to a Zoom meeting or something like that, right? But I'm using it at night because I feel like my skin has been a little bit more dehydrated lately because the weather has been colder. So I want to give it as much hydration as possible in the first few steps of my skincare routine. So I just take a few drops of the Hiiiiiii toner and I apply it or like pat it onto my skin. Another thing that I did to cope was really focusing on my work, my business, and my side gig. And that helped a lot because it felt like I had something to look forward to every day. Speaking of my business, we do deal in skincare, and initially I was thinking, okay, people are not gonna opt to buy skincare because it's not an essential good, but the opposite actually happened, which is really, really fortunate. And we're so happy that we're still surviving despite the crisis that's going on. So thank you guys for all of your support. The next step in my routine is serum. Right now I'm using the Cicapair Serum by Dr. Jart because I did have a few PMS related breakouts. So I want to soothe them as much as possible. And so far, this is the serum that really instantly lessens the redness of any of the irritation or breakouts that I have on my face. So it does have lavender oil, you know, as like a fragrant component, but you don't really smell it in the product, so I don't really mind it so much. But again, if you're not into fragrance, maybe look for another option that's equally as soothing. So that was a little bit of a long tangent, but anyway, I was getting to the reason why I started this YouTube channel, which is really to show people, hopefully to show people that taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's not vain, and it's actually really necessary, and it's one step that you can do to take care of your mental health. In Filipino culture, unfortunately, there's not a really great understanding of mental health just yet. I mean, people are really coming around to it. They're really understanding that it is a real thing. It's not something that you make up, and it's not something that's just in your mind. It's a clinical condition that really affects people's lives. But we're not like as understanding of mental health conditions as I would want us to be. So if I had the platform, I would want to talk about mental health as much as possible because I feel like naming it and talking about it is very therapeutic for me. And I hope it's therapeutic for you guys as well, because if you listen to someone talking about how their mental health is doing, I feel like there's catharsis there, and at the very least, don't feel like you're so alone in what you're going through. So that's one thing that I hope to achieve with this channel. And of course, skincare is one way that I take care of my mental health, because when I know that my skin is healthy, then it like translates to the other areas of my life. Like I feel like I can work well, and I feel like I'm that little bit more confident. So don't knock a good skincare routine. It can really have benefits for the rest of your life, just like makeup can, in a similar way. Now we're moving on to moisturizer. The moisturizer that I'm using today is the Happy Skin Hyaluronic plus B3 Boost Water Cream. Now this product, I didn't like it at first. It has a high percentage of jojoba oil in it, so it's quite oily, and it's definitely not something that I use during the day because I do have combination skin, and this moisturizer makes me look really greasy if I wear it or if I put it on during the day. But for the nighttime, I really have come around. I mean, as you can see, like there's barely any product left. I'm about to finish it, but I really like it because it is quite moisturizing. And again, it does have fragrance. So if you guys aren't into fragrance, maybe look for a fragrance-free option. Let me know if you guys want to see a compilation of fragrance-free options for every step in your skincare routine. But I do like this moisturizer because it has a really nice sort of like velvety texture. And on the skin, it has like a really potent softening effect, I'd say. And I use this, again, when my skin is feeling dehydrated or dry, and I want to give it that extra love and care. So I've really come around to this moisturizer. Another big reason that I wanted to start this channel is I noticed that skincare education is picking up in the Philippines. And I think it's a trend that's been influenced by the pandemic, just because a lot of people are turning to self-care as a way to cope with the mental effects of the pandemic. So it's good that skincare education is picking up, but I also wanted to see more skincare influencers locally talk about the science behind the ingredients, the formula, and why people with a certain skin type should go for a certain product based on their skincare concerns. You know, those kinds of recommendations I think are a little bit missing in our space. There are a lot abroad, and I do really like watching skincare influencers based in foreign countries, but I also wanted us to have that kind of skincare education because a lot of local products also don't get featured in that context, in that sense. So I was like, why not go for it? That's basically my motto for the pandemic. Why not? The next step in my routine is a retinoid. So I've already talked about this in my previous video. It's the Dr. Different Vitalift A Night Treatment Cream. Now it's a retinol, not a retinol. So it is a little bit more irritating. And the reason that I don't apply it on my bare skin is because of that. So I apply all of my skincare first, and then I apply the retinoid to decrease the chances of irritation. And I feel like it's been really effective. I haven't had any irritation with this product so far. I did get purging, but thankfully that subsided. Okay, so as you probably saw or couldn't see, I have only applied a pea-size amount, and that's enough to cover my whole face. And I don't have an eye cream in my routine, as you're gonna notice, just because I haven't found one yet that I really like. So I will apply this retinol cream on my eyes as well, just patting it. And I guess my final reason for starting this channel is I'm turning 29 this year, 30 next year. And I was thinking, wow, before I turn 30, which sounds really, really old, I know, but before I turn 30, I wanna see my 20s out with the least number of regrets possible. And I always wondered to myself, you know, what if I did this? What if I did that? And if the pandemic showed me anything, it's that We should go for the things that scare us, I guess, the things that we're not necessarily ready to do, but we really want to do. And I don't want to leave like any what ifs behind when I turn 30. I just wanted to try this out, to do it for real and see where it goes, because I also don't want to limit myself just because I'm turning 30. The last step in my skincare routine is a lip mask. Now, I don't really enjoy using lip masks just because a lot of them can be too heavy. So the product that I've been using as a lip mask, although it's probably not even a lip mask, it's a lip gloss, is the Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jelly. So I like it because it's light enough that I don't feel like I'm not like constantly reminded that I have a lip gloss on my lips, you know? I hate that heavy feeling, but it's moisturizing enough to last the entire night. So I'll just apply one coat of that as a lip mask, because my lips do get really dry at night no matter how much water I drink. So this really helps prevent cracked lips overnight. So I guess that's all I really wanted to say in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, even if you only watched half the video or if you made it this far. I hope this video was helpful to you in some way. Take care of yourself, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Bye! Say bye, baby. Bye!